Okay, so I've got the camera balanced now, so I don't have to hold it. Hopefully you should be able to see both screens, and hopefully I'll be able to tap them both at the same time. So we've got the Vega here, the iPad here. I'm just going to briefly go through a couple more web browser tests, because for me this is a large part of what's going on the tablet most of the time. So the web browser is what needs to be right for me to find it usable as a device day to day. So I've loaded CNN.com into both devices. I'm pretty sure the iPad's been there before. I don't know about the Vega, I can't remember. I haven't cleared the cache out on either devices. So I'm going to hit go. At the same time, we'll see what happens. So the Vega has started to load and it's done. The iPad is still going. Still going. The Vega's usable. Finished. I think the iPad's finished, although it's still showing as loading at the top. But we can still browse, so that's okay. So we've got a video here about the Japanese disaster that's going on at the moment. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen if I click play on this. It might launch an app or something. Click play on both. See what happens. Thinking about it. Oh, there we go. It has loaded something here. I'm not really sure what that is or how it's doing it. It must be DHTML video or something. But it's actually a different video. I have no idea why I clicked the same thing. But this video started playing actually a little bit quicker. It's just it was showing some text at the beginning. Not really sure why. I don't get that, but then I don't use CNN a lot, so possibly a bad example. Okay, another thing you'll notice, tabs on the iPad works like this. So if I kill a couple of tabs here, I've got a blank tab there. Now that's pretty smooth. I quite like that. A little bit annoying not seeing what's open. I'd completely forgotten that I'd left tabs open in the background. Bear in mind that I turned these devices both on at the same time, so it had remembered the tabs that I had open from the last time that I had used Safari before the device had turned off. So remember that when you're looking at porn, guys, because turning this shit off is not going to get rid of it. So one last website that we're probably going to be going to a lot, although I know a lot of people use apps, is going to be Facebook. So we're going to go to facebook.com. I've got that in a favourite on the Vega, so I'm just going to... Oh, is that searching or is that... I think that might be searching then. Let's change this. Okay, so I'm going to hit the favourite on the Vega and hit go on the iPad at the same time. Well, front screen both loaded up pretty quick. Let's log in. Actually, you know what, let's not log in, because I can't be bothered to move the camera because it's going to take me ages and ages to reset it up, and I don't want you guys to see my password. So we will instead, let's just try one last thing then. Let's go to XDA. Search it, actually. XDA. DDA, that's not what I clicked on, is it? XDA developers, okay. And again, I've got a favourite for this here, so I'm just going to tap the favourite and click on XDA developers here at the same time. For whatever reason, on my phone and on my Vega from experience, XDA takes ages and ages to load. I'm not really sure why. Considering the type of website it is, you would have thought it'd be a bit better. So there we go. So the iPad got there first, started loading first anyway. Whoa, I'm not really sure what's happened here. But the Vega actually appeared just before the iPad finished, kind of all turned up at once. So Vega's on, we can go. I'm not sure. Oh no, that's gone now. Okay, fine. So Vega's running, iPad's running. So there you go. Sometimes it can be extremely similar, sometimes it can be ridiculously different. So you can make up your own mind from that, but from experience and from the couple of tests that I've shown you here, I think the web browsing experience on the Vega is vastly superior. Alright, no, maybe not vastly superior, but it's better, and having Flash embedded in the websites makes a much bigger difference than any of the iPad or iPhone fanboys would ever care to tell you, as far as I'm concerned. So another thing that I find important when web browsing and generally using apps, I've shown you the tabs on the iPad, which is pretty swish, but kind of annoying that you can't see what you've got open on Mirror browser. Now granted, this is not the stock Android browser, but for Christ's sakes, who buys an Android device or an Advent Vega and doesn't mod it? I mean, the Vega doesn't even come with the Android market on it as standard, so if it wasn't modded, this would be a pointless freaking argument in the first place. So another thing that you'll be doing possibly a lot is rotating the devices to use them in either landscape or portrait. The viewing angles on the Vega are not great. Everybody piss and moan about that. It's not fantastic. For a £250 device, they're still not bad. But if we turn both of these over here, there we go. So the iPad rotated quicker. I'm going to do that again. There we go. Now what actually happens here, I don't know if you can notice from me doing this, but when you rotate, actually what's ended up happening is there we go. The Vega is actually rotating quicker. Now it doesn't always happen like that, but the iPad looks like it's going a lot faster. Oh shit. I don't know what I did there. Okay. The iPad looks like it's going a lot faster because as soon as you turn it, something happens. It starts rotating. But it's not actually in a usable state while it's rotating. You've got to wait until it's completely finished and then you can carry on using it, and even then, straight away there'll be a little bit of lag. The Vega, you rotate it, you don't get a nice animation, but it actually, the point where it gets to a usable state again after being rotated, a lot of the time works out quicker than the iPad. This is a nice animation. It makes it feel like something is happening when you've turned it round. It is perceived speed rather than actual speed. Not that it's slow, but there we go. Again, XDA probably isn't the best example of a website because for whatever reason it doesn't particularly perform very well on tablets of any description. There we go. So rotation, not a huge quantity in it. So we'll head back to home screens. And the last thing I'll show you in this little segment is the App Store. So App Store on Android, App Store, so Android market here, Apple iStore, App Store there, can't connect to iTunes Store. Why not? I don't know why. It's got internet. It's got internet, hasn't it? Oh, has it? Yeah, we've got internet. So let's try that again. Where is it there? Oh, there we go. Okay. Would you like to download some stuff? Sure, why not? Oh, I haven't got an Apple ID on this. Whatever. Okay, so iPad, App Store. Now, I thought this was going to be pretty good. It looks quite nice. I've got to say, I'm not hugely keen on the layout of the Android market. The website actually is a lot better and I find easier to navigate, and if you tell an app to install from the website, even if you're not using the Vega, it will just install. So if you're at your PC and you don't have your Vega with you, or it's on standby or to one side or whatever, choose an app, click install, choose Vega as your device, and it will just install. If it's awake, it'll install. If it's not awake, next time you wake it up and it connects to the internet, it will install. I don't know if you can do anything like that. I haven't explored the App Store with the iPad that much. I found it, even though it looks quite nice here, I actually found it quite difficult to find things. If I knew the specific name of what I wanted on the App Store, then I could find it no problem. But if I just search for Twitter because I wanted a Twitter app, or Facebook because I wanted a Facebook app, I actually found it quite difficult to figure out what app I wanted or whatever. I don't know anything about any of the apps on the iPad, so it didn't give me a huge amount of help. This on the Android store does give help, but again, it's not ideal. It could be doing with being laid out a little bit better. You've got your favorite apps up here. You've got recommended apps up here, not favorite, sorry, recommended here. So if we pick something, so let's say Fwix. I have no idea what Fwix is. Let's say Ellie Collections. I don't know what Ellie Collections is. Let's tap on that. I don't know what's going on here. There's nothing wrong with my internet connection. Let's pick a different one here on the Vega. There we go, that's loaded straight up. The iPad keeps doing this. It was doing this at work, and it was doing it at home. We've got 3 iPads at work. 2 of them were both doing this. I have no idea why. It's thinking about something. Let's go back to the App Store and pick something different. Animal blocks. Fuck knows what animal blocks is. It won't load. Take from that what you want. I don't know what's going on. It's not coming up and giving me an error. I've definitely got internet. Let's just install Pick Please just to prove it. There we go. Not having to swipe down on this is pissing me off. I know it's not something that has come from I know it's not something it should have, but I find the swipe down on Android brilliant, and not having it on the iPad really confuses me because I keep going like this. Fuck all's happening. To be fair, when I do choose things, apparently fuck all happens anyway. So Pick Please. I don't even know what that is. So there you go. So there's the App Store on both of them, and again, like the web browser, for whatever reason the iPad just decides not to do certain things. I don't know why. Again, somebody's probably going to complain that it's my internet connection. It's not my internet connection. The Vega is working fine. I haven't done anything to my router to make it work better with Android or to try and cheat the test or anything. I have just got a standard Netgear router that is just updated to the latest firmware. I haven't done anything weird with it. Works fine for the 3 laptops, the 2 PCs and my Vega. For whatever reason the iPad doesn't like it. All the time. Sometimes it works fine. Sometimes it does nothing. Now, I haven't been using this long enough to compare the battery life, so I'm not even going to bother yet. I'll probably do that at a later date. So there's a little bit more internet and the App Store and the Android market. And I'll shove up another video in a minute, and we will just have a play around with the UI and a couple of other apps.